Hey, Coach, we're ready when you are.
Let me get set here so I can see. All right. I'm ready to go. So Alex Okafor strained his hamstring, the other hamstring. I know it's frustrating for him, but he'll get that worked on. And then Schwartzy, Mitch, his back was bothering him, and we were able to get him out of there. And had some guys on the offensive line step up. I was proud of those guys and the job they did, as I was of the football team. I thought the guys came in here, I guess, heck of a Buffalo team. Weather conditions were a bit ugly, and they just bared down. And so defensively, Spags had a great game plan. I thought the boys executed it, just did a great job with it. You take away the penalties, and the yardage is less than obviously what we had there. But I just thought the guys bared down against what I think is, like I said, a real good offense and very well coached football team. Sean does a heck of a job. So, and then offensively, Clyde, you got to take your hat off to the young kid. I mean, he stepped up, and I thought he did a nice job running the ball. And E-Rob had a couple of huge plays for us, in the throw game. Pat had a good, solid game too, and did a nice job. He didn't have quite as many throws as he normally does, but Clyde was able to fill in the blanks there and run the ball, as did all the running backs. They all had an opportunity tonight, so I thought they did a good job. Anyways, and then special teams I thought was solid. So all in all, a good win against what I think is a good football team. They're banged up a little bit. They play a lot of games here, and so in a short period of time. So we'll probably have a chance to see them again somewhere down the road, and they'll be healed up by then. Anyways, time yours.
Let's go first to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Andy, with the running game, was that something you had anticipated coming into tonight? Was it weather related, or was it just sticking with what was working?
Well, listen, we felt like, and this is me talking now, so I didn't think I gave the guys enough of a chance last week with it, and especially the second half. And so we wanted to make sure that, we're best when we have some kind of a balance going, when you can kind of go back and forth. It puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense. And so we were able to do both, and we felt like we needed both in this game.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Andy, wanted to ask you about the reasoning of starting Daniel Kilgore tonight, and then your impressions in his first real consecutive amount of snaps of Nick Allegretti.
Yeah, so listen, Austin's been powering through a tender knee, and we thought it was a chance to kind of back up for him and just let him, he was still out there and did his thing, but just to heal up a bit and listen. Kilgore, he did a nice job. He's a good football player. He's played a lot of football. Who's your Allegretti? Yeah, I thought he did a nice job too. So good, solid game. I'll look to see the tape and see how he did from there. But I thought, it looked like the offensive line. Rimmer's kicked out. He started guard, kicked out the tackle. So we had a lot of moving pieces there. Tribute to Coach Heck and the job that he does, moving people around in practice. And the guys didn't really flinch. They just jumped in and went. So.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Adam, you good?
There we go. Okay. Hey, Andy, a couple things real quick. Was it with Mitch Schwartz, was it at all close that he might not play tonight in the first place? And I'll ask you the second one when you're done answering.
Yeah, he thought maybe he could get through it and roll, and just started tightening up on him. So we made the switch there. What's your second one?
On your, you talked a minute ago about you didn't feel like you gave your running game a chance last week, enough of a chance last week. What about your pass rush tonight? Even though you didn't sack him, you still got some pressure on him. Did you feel like you guys needed to dial that up tonight as opposed to what you did last week as well?
Yeah, listen, I think the guys, they take a lot of pride in that front. And so Chris was just coming back last week. I think he felt better this week. Listen, that's one of the better offensive lines in the National Football League that we just played. So to get that kind of pressure on, just making him move his feet and move in the pocket is that's enough. The sack is big if you get it. That's great, but enough when pressure is on that's a tough thing on a quarterback.
Next to Matt McMullen. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach, no Sammy Watkins tonight, but how good was it to see Byron Pringle step up in a huge moment on 3rd and long?
Yeah, that was a big one. He did a great job. He always seems to come up with one big one when he's out there. So it was great. Great for him. Great for Kansas State's recruiting, and away we go, right? So it's a beautiful thing all the way around.
Next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, as y'all were running the football, Le'Veon Bell tweeted out, "I can't wait to join the offense." What are your impressions of – is that feeling mutual?
Yeah, so listen, we don't turn away good players, and he's a good one. So it's exciting to have him around, and we'll see how he does. He's got to get in the playbook and learn everything, but he's a pretty smart kid and been doing it a long time. So I don't think you'll have a problem with that. But I think if you talk to Clyde will sleep well tonight, as I think the other backs will. That one more guy, I don't think any of them will complain there.
Next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win and the game plan. Just to follow up to what Herbie was getting at, this was the story of Kansas City. How did you estimate that Clyde handled the news en route to what was the best game of his young career?
Yeah, listen, I thought he did a nice job. I mean, real nice job, and I thought he handled the news well. I think they've actually talked before anything ever happened. So there was a little communication that I think took place, and so I think that's healthy. And so but anyways, he took it fine.
We've got time for 2 more. We'll go Sam and then Aaron. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy, I sort of alluded to this a little bit, but it looked like Clyde obviously had a great game, but the run blocking was terrific as well. I'm just wondering, was there a tweak that you guys made, or was that something that you thought you could get the Bills with going into this?
Well, listen, I mean, we felt it would work. I mean, I'm not going to tell you we didn't feel it would work, but you never know until you get in there. So Coach Heck does a nice job with Corey Matei putting that together. And it's I hope if we can run it a few more games like that, I might be able to get on your wall right there.
We'll go last to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
You touched on it a little bit in your opening statement, but 10 penalties last week and then 8 today. Is there something that you're seeing that's leading to that, and how do you get it cleaned up?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're always working on it. I've got to go back and look at the tape on some of those. I mean, I'm sure they were good calls, but I'm going to double check them for sure. And but well, you can't you can't have penalties. I mean, that's one of the things. You give people yardage and allow them to keep the clock moving and the yardsticks moving. That's not healthy. So we've got to do better there.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Hey, Clyde, are you ready for us?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll get started with Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Clyde. Congrats on the win. Was wondering what you were seeing out there as far as the offensive line goes. It just seemed like there was a lot more room to work with this week against the Bills.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt. O-line had plenty of movement, and I was able to. I mean, as far as my reads throughout the week, everything looked like the way we practiced. So it came easy, and I mean, as far as you've seen, the O-line was hyped up. So as long as they're hyped up, we can keep rolling.
Go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Clyde, career day for you. Just what does it mean to have this type of a performance responding to your first loss in your career? And then secondly, Coach mentioned that you have talked to Le'Veon since he joined the team. I just want to know what that conversation was like before playing tonight.
Yes, sir. As far as responding from last week's loss, I mean, it was the mindset. And ultimately, everybody knows when it comes to football, it starts up front. And the O-line did their job. They made things move. They made everything easier for me. So ultimately, it's not just me. This is a career day for not just me, but the entire O-line. And then, talking to Le'Veon, he's another guy coming in, another piece to the puzzle. So ultimately, from here, I just feel like we can only go up. Le'Veon, guys older than me. I'm still in my rookie year. So ultimately, anything that I can do to pick his brain and gain any knowledge from him, I'm there for it. So as far as us talking, it was a quick conversation, but ultimately, we know he'll be in the building next week, so I'll be able to talk to him more in person.
Next, Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Clyde, can you walk me through the process of just running behind so many different moving parts in front of you on the offensive line? Do you change your attacks? Do you change your approach? How do you do that?
It's ultimately based on a play call, and then the scheme. It's the scheme of the offense. It was something that I was able to do as far as college. If we want to go back to last year, just having tight ends and fullbacks come across my face and receivers come across my face as far as certain blocks that we need to make happen. And ultimately, it's our scheme. I was able to learn it over, OTAs as far as on camera. So seeing it, not just running it. And then ultimately when I got in the camp, watching those pictures come to life right in front of my face, the same plays, same blocking schemes and everything else. It all just kind of plays a part in what we do. So I go in, I learn as much as I possibly can from the O-line, see how they're blocking up fronts, blocking up certain schemes, blocking up, the guys are in front of them. And then it just makes my job that much easier.
Go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Clyde, I know you played at LSU, so I don't ask this question lightly, but you had a lot of yards before contact today. Have you had many games or any games like this where things were so wide open before you even got touched?
Yes, sir. A couple. Right now I can't just mark it off the top of my head as far as the games that were like that. But when you have days like this, things just seem like to part like the Red Sea, and that's what the O-line did. And ultimately, I just put my head down and run. And then when it's time to make a guy miss or time to run through a guy, I do my job. That fires up the O-line, and I'm doing my 111. So ultimately, it got us the win.
We got time for a couple more guys. We're going to go Sam McDowell and then Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Clyde, you're certainly aware of the way teams are trying to defend you this year offensively. Because of that, do you sort of feel the responsibility that you've got to have things going, to prevent teams from finding an equation to slow you guys down?
Ultimately, I just have to be accountable for my job. I can't do, all everybody else's job. Like I said, I do my 111th, and if I do my job, that's all I can be accountable for. So the best ability is accountability, and that's what I do.
We'll go to Aaron Ladd for the last one. Go ahead, Aaron.
Well, when we spoke with EB earlier in the week, he said y'all had a conversation about just getting 1% better each and every time. I'm curious where you feel like you've gotten better from week one up until now.
With us having this conversation this past week, it was something that he told me to make sure I just have 3 things written down each week, and ultimately, as far as the conversation I had in between, me and EB had, my job this week between me and him was finished. And ultimately, I feel like I did that this week as far as my 1% of getting better.
Clyde, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
We got Damian Wilson coming your way next. There he is. Hey, Damian, you ready for us?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll get started with Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Damian, I'm just wondering from your perspective, knowing that Josh likes to scramble and extend plays out of the pocket, just what worked well for you guys to, one, keep him in the pocket and then stay tied to the Bills' skill position players?
Well, for the linebackers and DBs, our main focus is like when you extend the downs, just to stay on the receivers faster for the duration of the down. And we got guys up front, pass rushers that knows how to play this type of quarterback. We've done it before, so we pretty experienced at playing guys like this.
Let's go next to Herbie T.O.P. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Damian, good to see you. 7 explosive plays last week, just 1 tonight against Buffalo. What went into the defensive game plan to stopping Buffalo, and how gratifying was this defensive performance, especially coming off of last week?
It was really gratifying. We worked really hard, but no one panicked from last week. You know, we just got our game plan together and went out there and handled our business like normal.
All right, guys, we're getting it back up here, so we're gonna go with Mick Schaefer first, and then Robert Rinson to close us out. Go ahead, Mick.
Hey there, Damian. I know the defense was disappointed in the play last week. How do you think you guys rebounded here in Buffalo?
It could have been a lot better. We missed a couple plays here and there. We'll have to get back in the lab and prove that. But overall, a pretty solid effort, I'll say.
Let's go next to Robert Rinson to close us out. Go ahead, Robert.
Hey, so Spags called a lot of heavy blitzes today. Does that make things kind of easier for you when you're just calling heavy blitzes and the quarterback can only do a certain number of things?
Oh man, I don't feel like he called a lot of blitzes today. I feel like it was a little conservative of a game. I didn't even notice the blitzes was coming in.
Thanks, Damian. We appreciate your time.
Appreciate it, fellas.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Patrick, you ready for us?
Ready.
All right, we'll start with Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Patrick, just what was the energy like in the huddle when it became clear that you guys could run at will tonight?
Yeah, I think the O-line and those guys really took it personally upon themselves that the light boxes that we'd be facing and the pressure that was given up last week, and they took that personally this week, and you saw it today. They gave good holes for Clyde to run through. We had to shuffle those guys around. The guys stepped up, and Clyde really hit it and finished runs well.
Next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Patrick, curious about the running game tonight and your reliance on the running game. Was that the idea going into tonight, or was that something you guys just stuck with because it was working so well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we had a few more pass plays called. I mean, we always do, but I mean, once we saw that how deep their linebackers and safeties and corners were playing, we knew that we had the run game, and so we really just stayed with it. And if teams are going to play us like this, you're going to see us running the football, and we have the guys that can do it.
Next to Pat Graham. Go ahead, Pat.
Hey, Patrick, how you doing? I think this is the first time you guys have run for more than you've thrown for. What was it like resisting the temptation to take shots downfield and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was definitely different. I mean, I had a few of those RPOs called, and I had to tell myself not to throw it, just keep handing that thing off. I mean, Clyde was running well, O-line was blocking well. And, I mean, I just want to win. I don't care how that's done, pass, run, defense, whatever that is, and we found a way to do that.
Next to Matt McMullen. Good, Matt.
Hey, Patrick, can you walk us through the third down to Byron? And just with no Sammy tonight, how proud were you of him for shutting up in a huge moment?
Yeah, I mean, Pringle, I've always thought highly of Pringle. I mean, he comes in every single day. He works extremely hard, and when his number gets called, he makes plays. And so he's someone that stuck with us for a while. I'm sure he's had opportunities to try to go somewhere else, but he's been with us. He's made plays. And on that one, he was kind of not even in the read. There was a read. I would look at Tyreek, who came back to Kels, and their safety drove it pretty well. And so extended the play, and Byron kept working like he always does, and I found him at a big time.
Next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Patrick, I wonder if you could specifically talk about how well Nick Allegretti stepped in and played, and then what it was like to kind of have to shuffle with Mitch leaving so early. And I'd like to ask a question about the defense too afterwards, Brad.
Yeah, all right. Well, with the O-line, I thought they did a tremendous job. I mean, not only Nick coming in, stepping up, and playing his tail off, really blocking well in the run game and the pass game, but Rimmers, who just came in this last week at guard and moving the tackle behind where Shorts is usually at, and really stepping up and doing a great job there. I mean, those guys are really prepared well. Beach does a good job of getting a lot of great guys in that room, and head coaches them up really well. And so they did a tremendous job. I mean, hopefully we can get Mitch back here quickly, but I'm proud of those guys, and I have full trust in those guys going forward.
What did you see from your defense this week? You know, I know that we're not very happy with what happened last week against the Raiders. Did you sense a little something from them, like they were ready to come out and have a performance like this?
Yeah, 100%. You can see that in practice. I mean, the attitude, the mindset. I mean, those guys have been rolling for a long time now, and to have a game like they had last week, they took that, like I kind of like said about the line, they took it personally, and they really came in, focused in on the details of every single thing. And, I mean, they showed why. I mean, they're one of the top defenses in this league, and they don't get the respect that they deserve.
Next to Sam Mellinger. Good, Sam.
Hey, Patrick, you mentioned the light boxes that you guys have been facing, but that's been going on all year, right? And you guys haven't been running the ball like this. I know you said that the line took it personally. Is it that simple, or was there something different you guys were doing? I know you had some different personnel up there. Was there some, different blocking schemes you guys were doing as well?
I mean, every week we had different plays that we add in, but for the most part, I mean, guys just blocked and we ran the ball well. It takes me back to like my college days at Texas Tech, where we're getting like drop 8 and linebackers are 6-7 yards deep. But if teams are going to do that, we got to run the football until they come up, and when they come up, we'll throw the football again. So we're a well versatile offense that can do it all, and so we're going to prove that.
Next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, Patrick, your new teammate Le'Veon Bell was tweeting up the storm during the game. I think he said something like, "I can't wait to join." What does he bring to you guys' offense, especially with the running game clicking like it did today?
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be another weapon. I mean, he's someone who's had tremendous success in this league for a long time now, and he's still in the prime of his career. I mean, he's 28 years old, so I mean, he's going to come in and make plays happen. And we have days like today, having him, Clyde, Darrell, Darwin, all these guys that can come in and run the football and keep just going at the defense over and over again. He'll open up the passing game, and it'll help me out a little bit too.
Got time for 2 more guys. We'll go Pete and then Nate. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Pat, congratulations on the win. I was wondering if you could just run through the 2 touchdowns to Travis.
Yeah, the first touchdown, it was a little kind of option route play with Travis, and I was trying to hold that linebacker a little bit. He did a great job of really attacking that guy, going back out. I put it back on him. He almost got me. He almost got me with his little shake, but I put it on him, and then he got in the end zone, and that was a big play. And then the second one, we got a kind of a shell coverage look, and Clyde kind of came out to the flat, and Travis was the corner route to the back pylon. And I saw the corner's eyes kind of just peek at me for a second, thinking I was going to throw the running back because he was already there. And I just put it in that back corner, and he made a great play of catching the ball and getting his feet in.
Let's go to Nate Taylor for the last one. Go ahead, Nate.
Hey, Pat, I want to ask you 2 quick things. Can you take us through the mental process of that third down run where you ran behind or past the line of scrimmage and then obviously made the decision to go back? And then can you also explain, too, just the idea, the notion that teams want to hold the ball against you guys, keep you on the sideline, and in fact, today you guys reversed that course, and what that felt like to be on the field more than the opposing offense?
Yeah, well, the first part, that play, I think I misread it a little bit. It was man coverage, and I was thinking about working Kels to McCole, and if you see, there's a split second where Tyreek kind of pops down the seam where I can maybe hit him for a touchdown. And so, obviously, they covered it well. I scrambled out, and the guy that was spying me was coming, and I was rolling, and I knew I couldn't make the first down, and then so I tried to stop at the line of scrimmage, and you probably can see it. I looked at the little stick, and I saw that I passed the line of scrimmage. I was going to drop back and try to throw the football to D-Rob or someone like that, and once I did that, I knew I had to get upfield, and then I got upfield enough. I thought I got the first down. Shorty told me I didn't, but then we did a great job of running in the next play. And the second question, one more time.
Just the idea that you guys possess the ball more than the Bills today, when that usually is trying to be the formula to beat you guys.
Yeah, it's something that you're going to have to do in this league. You have to find ways to win. I think that's the biggest thing. You've seen it all this year. You've seen it all these last few years with our football team. Is we're going to find a way to win the football game. We don't care how that is. We don't care if it's not having a lot of possession. We don't care if it's having a lot of possession. But obviously doing that, it gives our defense the rest that they need to go out there and play good football. And so I thought we did a great job of having the time of possession. The defense did a good job of getting a lot of 3-and-outs or short drives and getting the ball back to us.
Patrick, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Brent.
All right, guys. So we are getting ready to catch the bus here. So we are done for today. We will get you guys